Hello everybody, today I'm going to talk about JWT authentication bypass via float signature verification. The server now we're going to attack is in security configured to accept unsigned JWTs. So we're going to change the session token contained in cookie directly without providing correct signature, which could be hard to obtain by also changing the type of JWT. As always, now we are going to start the lab and copy the target URL to our internal browser at first. If you have ever seen my videos before, then I'm pretty sure that you have already been familiar with this. Oh man, I forgot to turn off the message blocker. Don't worry, now I'm going to turn it off. It should be working normally now. Okay, another problem, so it must be the outdated one URL and it just turns itself off now. So, how about getting a fresh one? Still, we're going to copy the fresh one URL and paste it. Boring work, right? So now we're on the place. You know what? The cookie is used to keep the user's data tracked. That means we have to be a logged-in user to get a working cookie. So, we're now entering the username and password of a test account to get a cookie. Now, it is time to get back to my lovely Panda suit and check the data. Here's a little trick I'm going to use. You can turn on the message blocker and refresh the web page. This will trigger a request from browser. And you are going to catch it directly, since you have the message blocker turned on. Oops, we got a message. Our lovely Panda suit now notifies you that a message has been cached and waiting for your order. Here, you can click the tamper button to check the data and definitely tamper the data on the fly. But now we highlight it by clicking the highlight button. This will mark this request so we can find it easily in the message list. But first of all, don't forget to turn off the message blocker so the proxy server can act normally. Simply click the resend button to send this request to our message generator. I personally like to send the request after clicking resend button to check if the request is working normally. Because we received some data that is not able to translate it safely into UTF-8 string, we got a transformation failure pop-up window here. In most cases, it's just caused by the format of the received data is gzip. If you are interested to get a plain text that we can read directly, then all we have to do is to change our accept encoding HTTP header in request. You can change it to a keyword named plain. But now we just keep it and focus on the cookie. Panda suit has embedded a note feature that makes the analyzing work somehow easier. You can see that you can send the selected text to the note directly by clicking the Take Note button here. You must have noticed that the new entered content will be in green color so you can quickly focus it. I feel the old content is somehow annoying, so I just remove it. I don't know if you have noticed that I just sent the first two parts of the JWT token here, and please allow me to introduce you that the JWT token contains three parts. The first two parts contain some information and the last part is the signature. Because our target is to let the server can ignore the signature by changing the JWT token type, technically we will change the first part to change the JWT token type and change the second part to change the other information provided by user, and that's why we don't need the last part. With the help of encoding and decoding gadget, analyzing and tampering this JSON Web Token would be easier. So, in order to change the JSON Web Token type, you will need to change the algorithm from RS-256 to none. You should definitely not forget to encode it back to base 64. And this is all we have to do in the first part of the JSON Web Token. Oh, remember, never forget to remove the equal signs in the constructed base 64 string because the format of JSON Web Token does not allow the appearance of equal signs. Now you can see that I copied the second part of the JSON Web Token. And our target for now is to change the username contained by second part of the JSON Web Token. Here we are going to change Winer to administrator to obtain the administrator access. Here we need some clue that why username should be administrator and not others. And now we are going to find it out by accessing the administrator panel directly using cookie from Winer. So we are informed that only administrator have the access right to the control panel. And that's why we are going to replace Winer with administrator to get the access right. Okay, we have finished most things that need to do here, and what we have to do next should roughly be wrapping our payload and sending requests using it. When you're making a lot of changes in an HTTP request, I recommend you to use the HTTP request mapper because it will make the request orderly and avoid some problems caused by things about line feed and carriage return. Android is basically a Linux system, so it will map your inter keystroke to line feed, and you should be aware that HTTP request headers are separated by line feed and carriage return instead of using just one line feed. I just sent the request, but in fact we have to change the path to our interested administrator panel. Okay, now we have to change our accept encoding headers so we can see the plain text in response and check if we are succeed. We finally get our job done, which means we have bypassed the check and successfully accessed the administrator panel without permission from administrator. So now let's get our last little thing done. We will need to copy this URL and try to delete account owned by Carlos. Just access the path that is used to delete the Carlos account with our generated JSON Web Token will do. If you like this video, like or subscribe me, and it will be the biggest support I would expect. And many thanks for you to watch until here. I'm the author of this app, PandaSuit. Until next time, bye!